So if you're running into any migration errors, just remember that we have to run and break db migrate to migrate the migrations that we created in the last video. Today what we'll be talking about is we'll be talking about this stripe settings function. And the first thing we want to do is you want to do as I did here. We want to make a manager variable and assign stripe manage dot new current or person. Now that will call this stripe manage function under our services folder, and it inherits from a struct. So it really just creates this object for us in our manager. And this manager is what we're going to use. So next thing we want to do is if current or person dot stripe account status is not nil, then we want to do something. And what we want to do here is we want to make a charges variable, and what will be in this charges variable is this. What we have is an array with charges and the current or person stripe account status charges enabled. And we want to do the same thing for transfers. So we do transfers variable is equal to an array where the element 0 is transferred and the first element is the stripe account status of transfers enabled. So let's take this a little bit slower and let's go to our org person model. Now you can see here it says serialize stripe account status. So this account status pretty much comes from our stripe managed. So if I do a find stripe account status, it all occurs here. So it occurs in the create account, and when we're actually creating an account for this user for Stripe, then what happens is that they get a Stripe currency, they get their account type, which is usually managed in our case, they get a user ID, a secret key, a publish role key, and their own account status. So what's really happening is for our COO to provide us with a country and that they've accepted the terms of service and their IP, if they give that to us, we will try to create a Stripe account for them and assign that to the account variable. Now, if we did that successfully, if there is an account, then we will update our org person, go to our database. Since we migrated, we have all these fields now. Go to our database and update it with the returned values from the created account from Stripe. So that's where we get our account status from for the charges here, and the account status for the transfers here. So we're looking under the current person, we're looking under stripe account status, and we're checking for charges enabled, and we're checking for transfers enabled, and we're assigning that to these variables. Now, if you're wondering what the serialize does, then you can flip over to our API doc, and you can see that it's really just to save an object and to retrieve the same object from the database as an object. So that's basically it. So that's pretty much as simple as I can explain it. Actually, there's not much more that I can make clearer than that. If you have any questions, then don't hesitate to leave them in the comment box below. Next thing we want to do is we want to find the date of birth. So we do @manager.legalentity.dob. That will set us up with the date of birth. And we want one last variable called date selected. And that will be equal to date new, DOB year, DOB month, and day. And then we will end with rescue nil. So this is all the basic work that you really need to do to set it up so that when we create the view for the Stripe settings, we could have the form for the user to fill out that allow them to connect their bank account to our Project Meal app. So all this stuff is stuff that I've really got from the documentation on Stripe, so it's really nothing new. Be sure to look over the documentation that they have because they're really good in trying to explain things in a more clear and concise way than what I'm trying to do. I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible and set you guys up. So I guess there's a little bit of compromise. Other than that, please rate, comment, subscribe. Next video will create the view for stripe settings, so sit tight, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.